Hey y'all, this is Marie from our Oakley Homestead. I'm working on a little project that I've had put up for a while, and I've been going through closets because it's too hot outside to do much. And so I've been just like cleaning house and taking care of stuff inside. So I'm going to show y'all a video of a no-sew throw. And it's just a nice, easy little project. They always have all kinds of different fleece materials in the fabric stores. If you go back there and you look, and you pick you up yard and a half of the fabric and get you a color that goes with whatever design you're doing, and coordinate it, and then make you one. So, or make one for somebody else. So anyway, let's get to it. Okay, first thing I do, besides making sure that both pieces are approximately the same size, I just bought like a yard and a half of fabric because I liked this fabric with little foxes. And I already had this other. And so I'm just kind of cutting them to fit. And I'm also cutting these funny edges off where the fabric kind of ends. The funny ends right here. So I got the other edge cut off. I just got to cut this edge off. These are new scissors, but they are not very sharp by no means. Okay. So, now all I gotta do, I was gonna show y'all, this is 38 wide by almost 5 foot long. So almost 40 by 5 foot, or almost 40 by 60. That's the cool thing about this little project, is it doesn't have to be perfect. So if you're OCD about stuff, you might think twice. I kind of want to mark it to make sure I'm cutting the same distance coming in as I go around. So I'm going to get a marker and mark that. Okay, this is the best straight edge I can find in my house at the moment. So I'm going to lay that on here. I'm just going to eyeball it because that's just the way I roll. I'm just going to eyeball it because it, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I tried to pick a color that was kind of close to the fabrics, but still dark enough I can see it. I just want to put a mark on there so I don't cut past a certain point. That way my fringe is all pretty much the same. What you do is you come back and you cut your corners off. After you've marked and cut each corner, all 4. So that's what I'm going to do next, and then I'll start cutting the fringe. I went a little bit past, but like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now what I like to do, instead of like cutting all the way around and then starting to tie, I tend to go ahead and cut like part of the way through the ends cut along one side, go ahead and start tying like around one corner, and then work my way down, and then that way the fabric holds in place without me having to pin it. And you can see that I try to cut a little bit of this excess off here, but I didn't get it. You want to cut at least like a ½ inch space. You want to make sure and hold both pieces of the fabric while you're doing this, and keep some tension on it just so you don't mess up the pieces. Helps cut too when your scissors ain't super sharp. You see, I'm just cutting to the line basically. This is the first corner I'm tying. Okay, so see, the corner's done. And you just keep going down the line tying them. I'm not going to go all the way down here though, since I still have to cut that side. I just don't like to cut it before I get this other side tied, and then I make sure it's all smoothed out good, so no fabric got caught up. Could have made the fringe a little bit longer too, but I decided to just leave it kind of short. You see how it kind of bunches up too, so it's like that's another reason why it doesn't have to be perfect, because as you tie it, it's going to bunch it up some. So I know y'all want to sit here and watch me tie this whole thing, so I'm probably going to speed this up and then put some music with it and fast forward. If my GoPro doesn't die on me from the hot battery, even though it's sitting here inside under the fan. It's a lot of tying. Working my way around. It would be easier if I had made the fringe longer, but I didn't want to make long fringe on this one. Seems like if you get it at just the right angle, it's not as hard to tie. You don't want to make them too long and skinny though, because whenever you go to tying them, tighten them down, they're liable to tear off. Last two, yay! Keeping these things out of each other's way is a trick too when you're doing this, especially with the little shorter stubby fringe. Okay, there we go. Make sure I got them all. I think so. There you go. All right. Just like that, no sew throw. You just snip it and tie it. And like I said, it probably would have been a lot faster if I'd have went ahead and made the fringe longer. But my two pieces of fabric were not super wide, but it's perfect for a throw. It's also like the perfect size as a baby blanket, you know. But this one is already earmarked to somebody, and he's been after me about getting it done. So he's going to be super excited I finally finished it, I think. So, what y'all think? So I'm going to call them and have him come and see how he likes it. Well, there we go. Another project done. So I hadn't been feeling well, so I haven't been doing much outside. So I've just been like cleaning house and doing some rearranging and purging and going through stuff. And this blanket project was something I have had in a closet for a couple of years now. And I figured that's one way to purge stuff, is to get some of the projects like that done. And it takes a couple hours and it's finished. So if you want to try to make a no-sew throw like that, it's really easy to do. You just go, and this is a pattern, instructions they had set out years ago at Walmart back in the fabric section. You go back there, sometimes you can find patterns for free, and this was one of them, no-sew throw, and so that's what I did. I've made baby blankets with that material, you know, doing it like that, and I've also made just basically throws for people like that. So it's just a nice cozy blanket to cozy up under, especially during winter time. It's kind of an odd project to do during the summer, but hey, when it's so hot outside that all you're doing is staying inside, you might as well do stuff like that too. So anyway, I'm gonna go, and I hope y'all have a good one.